meet Finn, an enthusiastic but clumsy bird watcher, as he sets up his binoculars in the park, tripping over his own feet. Finn adjusts his binoculars and spots a majestic eagle soaring above. He's completely mesmerized, dreaming about what it would be like to fly. Finn pulls out his notebook and sketches the eagle, but his drawing looks more like a confused chicken with wings. He chuckles at his own artistic skills. Suddenly, a gust of wind blows Finn's hat off his head and into a tree. He attempts to climb the tree to retrieve it, but gets stuck halfway up. A wise old owl named Hoot observes Finn's struggle with amusement. "Need some help, young human?" Hoot asks in a surprisingly deep voice. Finn is shocked but delighted. "You can talk?" he asks, eyes wide with wonder. Hoot nods wisely. "All the birds can, but most humans can't understand us." Hoot helps Finn down from the tree and explains that there's been trouble in the bird kingdom. Someone has been stealing shiny objects from nests, inciting incident. As they talk, a mischievous raccoon scurries by, clutching a stolen locket. Before Finn can react, the raccoon tosses the locket into a magical-looking pond. When the locket hits the water, a shimmering light envelops Finn. He suddenly feels light as air and begins to float off the ground. Act II, rising action. Finn discovers he can now fly. He flaps his arms awkwardly at first, then manages a clumsy takeoff into the air. Hoot explains that the magical locket contained a gift from the ancient birds of prey, meant for someone pure of heart. Finn has been chosen as their human helper. Suddenly, a magnificent eagle named Thunder swoops down, landing gracefully on a nearby branch. "You must be Finn," Thunder says, with a commanding voice. Thunder explains that the shiny thief is actually a magpie named Silas, who's collecting treasures to build a nest for his family. The problem: Silas is taking too much from other birds. Finn meets a speedy falcon named Swift, who agrees to help them find Silas. "I can spot him from a mile away," Swift boasts with a confident grin. Swift leads Finn on an aerial chase through the forest. Finn crashes into branches and gets tangled in vines, creating a comedic trail of destruction. Finally, they spot Silas the magpie in his hidden nest, which is filled with stolen treasures, from bottle caps to spoons to a single earring. Silas is fiercely protective of his nest when Finn approaches. "This is for my family," he squawks, puffing out his colorful chest feathers. Finn tries to explain that taking too much from other birds is causing problems. Silas scoffs. "Humans take from nature all the time," he retorts. As they argue, a storm begins to gather. Thunder appears, warning that the strong winds could destroy all the nests if they're not reinforced properly. Swift reports that he spotted humans approaching with nets, likely planning to capture the birds. The situation is more urgent than they thought. All the birds gather for a meeting in the great oak tree. Finn, now able to communicate with them all, suggests a plan to protect the nests and help Silas. The birds assign Finn specific tasks. Thunder will distract the humans, Swift will create diversions, and Hoot will guide the smaller birds to safety. Silas reluctantly agrees to help return some of the treasures, but only enough to make room for his family in the nest. The other birds accept his compromise. As the storm intensifies, Finn leads the birds in reinforcing their nests with extra branches and leaves. His human ingenuity proves surprisingly helpful. When the humans arrive, Thunder creates a magnificent distraction, pretending to be an injured bird. The humans follow him away from the nests. Swift and other smaller birds create additional diversions by swooping past the humans and making funny noises, confusing them completely. Hoot guides the smaller birds to safety, while Finn uses his flying ability to position branches to block the humans' path back to the nests. Haliaeetus creates the ultimate distraction by dropping a trail of his most prized treasures, leading the humans on a wild goose chase through the forest. Exhausted from their chase, the humans finally give up and leave the forest. The birds celebrate their victory with a joyful aerial dance. Resolution with the crisis over, Finn helps Silas organize his treasures more fairly. The birds present Finn with a special feather that will allow him to fly anytime he wants. As Finn says goodbye to his new feathered friends, he promises to visit often and protect their home. The birds cheer, knowing they now have a human ally. Finn flies home, his heart full of wonder. He now understands that protecting nature means finding balance and working together. Back in his room, Finn places the magical feather on his desk next to his bird sketchbook. He opens to a new page, ready to document more adventures. The story ends with a final shot of all the birds watching Finn from the treetops, a silent promise of future adventures together. Fade to black, with the sound of birds chirping happily in the distance.